let's talk about India. That is an area of the world that's generating a lot of excitement from a standpoint of some hot stocks. What's the community talking about there?
Well, the community has been, what's interesting about StockTwits is we can ask the community. We all get sidetracked and focused on, the news and the government and politics, but at StockTwits we try and keep you focused on ideas, and we put it out there, and this one of our suggested guys, Laser Trader, just started, a couple of weeks ago saying, let's focus on India, and he was talking about INFY, which is a leading, Indian software company, busting out to all-time highs, and PIN, which is an index fund representing India, also busting out to all-time highs. On the other side of it, we should be reminded there's a lot of speculation. There's, Redfin, REDF. Everybody said that was going to be the new Yahoo 5 years ago when the India story started. And now it's a penny stock, and that's kind of been moving up, so that makes me a little concerned.
Yeah, no, it's a good point there, and I think it's very valid to say that no matter what market you're in, what sector, there's always going to be winners and losers. You've got to avoid or be wary of the speculative names. And speaking of speculation, let's move to gold. Gold stocks, the metal itself, are obviously surging. What are people talking about there? Are they seeing this as the safe haven play, or do you actually have people that are worried about inflation pressures down the road, and that's driving gold right now?
Well, the fun thing about StockTwits, because of the limitation on characters, people are just talking about, hey, here's what's happening with the price. Stephen Place, who is a regular contributor on StockTwits and has his own newsletter and site, is saying that, gold's hitting all-time highs, but yet the options activity and the sentiment says, people aren't really talking about it yet. So you had a great post on that. People have been saying, listen, gold is a pure play on the monetary policy of our government and really governments around the world that are devaluing their currency. So although gold, and talked about it all the time on our stream, doesn't really have a sex appeal to it, there's no cash flow that you can get from gold, people on the stream have been very bullish about gold, and it's been right.
No, definitely. And you mentioned the currency devaluation. Obviously, we've got Japan and its moves intervening with the yen. So it'll be very interesting to keep watching gold for the foreseeable future. To wrap up, though, let's talk about a company that I like to joke is sitting on a stockpile of gold like Scrooge McDuck. Microsoft obviously still has a lot of cash. There's some speculation that they may go to the debt markets in order to pay for some stock buybacks, maybe increase the dividend. What are people talking about there, Mr. Softy?
But there's a lot of sarcasm. I think Microsoft's doing something that makes sense, unfortunately. That's how weird the markets are. When you can borrow money, when you can't repatriate all this cash without tax implications. So Microsoft's sitting on a stockpile of cash overseas, and it's cheaper for them to borrow money to pay out dividends or to do things with. Things are kind of screwy. I mean, this is part of globalization. This is part of global tax issues. Microsoft right now is not being recognized for being a profitable company, and that's just kind of the state of the markets right now. And Aleph Blog has a great post about it. He's not bullish on the stock. I just think there's better ideas out there for pure growth.
Great. Yeah, and I think people are starting to recognize that maybe with Cisco as well, another maturing tech company, a lot of cash. And I think, with John Chambers saying that they're finally going to pay some of that cash, or cash, as Chambers says in that lovely West Virginia drawl of his, you definitely are probably going to see more maturing tech companies increase or start paying dividends, I would think.